has a rich culture and is a cradle of European civilization. We spent 12 days in the summer exploring the country from Tuscany in the central region with stunning landscape, delicious food and wine, went on scenic hikes in Cinque Terre, visited the historic Vatican City and the Colosseum, as well as appreciating the beautiful coastal towns of Amalfi and Positano in the southwestern part of Italy. Rome is the capital of Italy, and while there are lots of attractions in Rome, our focus was on the main ones: the Vatican City, Colosseum, and the Palatine Hill. Vatican City, a city-state surrounded by Rome, is the headquarters of the Roman Catholic Church and is a home to the Pope. The Vatican Museums are among the largest museums in the world, and with over 5 million annual visitors, they can get incredibly crowded. With such a crowd, we opted for the skip the line personal guided tour of 3 hours. We met Stefania, our guide at the entrance of the Vatican City. The Vatican Museums were started in 1506 by Pope Julius II. They display works from the immense collection amassed by the Catholic Church and the papacy throughout the centuries, including several of the most well-known Roman sculptures and most important masterpieces of Renaissance art in the world. Breakfast is included in our tour package at the Pinecone Bistro at the Picnic Courtyard. The tour started with a quick briefing right at the Picnic Courtyard. A collection of Roman busts and statues along the eastern wall of the Belvedere Palace. There are about 1,000 sculptures, including portraits of emperors and gods, several fragments, friezes, and reliefs of sarcophagi or stone coffin.
A place where the papacy decided to collect all the animals found in many villas.
5th century AD mosaic.
So this room has been renovated in 19th century with beautiful frescoes on the ceiling and the typical red pagan color on the walls.
This large hall, with a hemispherical dome vault inspired by the Pantheon, was completed in 1779. All around the walls are colossal ancient statues, each in its own shallow alcove. This room houses 2 porphyry sarcophagus of Constantine and Saint Helen, the daughter and the mother of Emperor Constantine. The museums contain about 70,000 works, of which 20,000 are on display. The Gallery of the Candelabra is a spectacular hallway of ancient Greek and Roman artworks, featuring statues, sarcophagi, and candelabra. Tapestries on the right wall are from the life of Pope Urban IV. Tapestries on the left wall were designed by Raphael's students and show the life of Christ from birth to resurrection. The image on the resurrection of Christ is like the Mona Lisa portrait, where the eyes of Christ seems to follow you as you walk by.
Let's enter in the next room.
The Gallery of Maps is a 120-meter-long gallery in the Vatican Museums that is covered with 40 painted maps of Italy based on the drawings by friar and geographer Ignazio Danti. It was commissioned by Pope Gregory XIII and was built between 1580 and 1585. The maps covering the entire Italian peninsula are displayed, each depicting a region.
So last two pieces are no pictures and no videos, and this is the ones inside. You can take pictures here. No videos and no pictures at all.
The Sistine Chapel is a chapel in the Apostolic Palace, the Pope's official residence in Vatican City. It was built between 1473 and 1481. Between 1508 and 1512, under the patronage of Pope Julius II, Michelangelo painted the chapel's ceiling, a project that changed the course of Western art and is regarded as one of the major artistic accomplishments of human civilization. One of the functions of the Sistine Chapel is as a venue for the election of each successive pope.
I follow some classes, archaeologists doing excavations, so just introducing us new excavations.
St. Peter's Square is located directly in front of St. Peter's Basilica in Vatican City, the papal enclave in Rome. Both the square and the basilica are named after St. Peter, an apostle of Jesus whom Catholics consider to be the first pope. Do you know that Vatican City is the world's smallest country that houses the world's biggest Catholic church? Masses are celebrated daily at St. Peter's Basilica, the world's largest church. The service is free to attend for the public. You don't need tickets. However, you do need to wait in line and clear the security checkpoint. St. Peter Basilica has many altars. The masses are conducted across them. The body of Blessed John the 23rd, the Pope best known for the reforms of the Catholic Church during the Second Vatican Council from 1962 to 1965, was removed from the crypt of St. Peter Basilica 23 years ago and transferred to a glass coffin and placed in the interior of the church. When his coffin was opened 38 years after his death, his body was practically intact. Some Italians declared this a miracle.
It's considered the smallest, and the other ones are a little bit larger. You see from close is impressive, huh? I should have the balance of 400 euros, yes, right? Yes.
Before we left, we took the opportunity to complete one thing in the must-do list in Vatican City, which is to send postcards from the Vatican Post Office to our son and goddaughter. We met Stefania again for the second half of the day for a guided tour at the Colosseum and Palatine Hill. The Colosseum is an elliptical amphitheater in the center of the city of Rome, just east of the Roman Forum. It is the largest ancient amphitheater ever built, and is still the largest standing amphitheater in the world despite its age. Construction began in the year AD 72 and was completed in 80 AD. Thus, the Colosseum is 1,943 years old. It could hold an estimated 50,000 to 80,000 spectators at various points in its history. It was used for gladiatorial contests and public spectacles, including animal hunts, executions, reenactments of famous battles, and dramas based on Roman mythology. The Colosseum Museum is on the second level, where artifacts from different moments in the history of the monument are displayed.
So we are now at the level from men and women.
The arena itself was 83 meters by 48 meters. It comprised a wooden floor covered by sand, covering an elaborate underground structure called the hypogeum. Little now remains of the original arena floor, but the hypogeum is still clearly visible. It consisted of a two-level subterranean network of tunnels and cages beneath the arena, where gladiators and animals were held before the contest began.
I can take a picture of you here. Over there was too busy. If you want. Access to go into the cages. So from here the slaves were entering to go down, going into the corridor or something. We are now standing under the That's the original floor. And you see right behind my colleague at the starting.
The movie Gladiator came to our mind after seeing the place with our own eyes, and we were motivated to watch the movie again when we returned home. Next on our list is the Palatine Hill. The Arch of Titus is a 1st century AD honorific arch located just to the southeast of the Roman Forum. It was constructed in around AD 81 by Emperor Domitian. The arch contains panels depicting the triumphal procession celebrated in AD 71 after the Roman victory culminating in the fall of Jerusalem. The Palatine Hill, which relative to the 7 hills of Rome is the centermost, is one of the most ancient parts of the city and has been called the first nucleus of the Roman Empire. Excavations show that people have lived in the area since the 10th century before Christ. The site is now mainly a large open-air museum and is like a walk in the ancient Rome. From the 16th century, the hill was owned by the Farnese family and was occupied by the Farnese Gardens, still partially preserved above the remains of the Domus Tiberiana. The Domus Flavian, built by the Emperor Domitian on the Palatine Hill, was a place where several Roman emperors held their official functions. It was the public counterpart to Domus Augustana, which served as the private home of Rome's emperors. The fountains in the courtyard of Domus Flavian are some of its impressive remains. With restoration, water returns to the Trevi Fountain, and the sound of water is accompanied by musical notes, with the hymn to Venus contained in the prelude Ascanio in Elba by Mozart. The restoration of the House of Augustus is part of a long-term plan to reinvigorate the entire Palatine Hill. The building itself holds immense archaeological, political and artistic significance that can now be seen by visitors every day thanks to the decades of conservation work. The trip to Rome is not complete without the visit to the other famed attractions like Trevi Fountain, the Spanish Steps, and Pantheon. It was extremely crowded, and we merely did the seen it, done it way. We indulged in Italian gelato, and that was heavenly on a hot, sunny summer.